Hello, and welcome to Casting Rolls, where a bunch of theater nerds and good friends play a little D&D. We're so happy that you've joined us. Take a moment to subscribe to the show. It takes just a click and earns our unending thanks. Drop us a like and leave us a comment for Campaign 2. Our videos are uploaded here on YouTube every Friday, and we have tons of great content to explore. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show. Last time, our crew of adventurers found themselves in the orrery of the Tower of Indira, the Opal, where you were teleported into viewing globes into the planes of existence. Bonnie in the plane of Earth, Rovick and Kieran in the plane of water, Andulus in the Shadowfell, and Lucky in Celestia. Traversing through these planes, you uncovered many issues and problems that are facing the outer planes, whether it be odd spellcraft that's being carried out in the plane of water and the plane of earth, the war between demons and devils breaking out in the Shadowfell, or the absence of gods and how it is impacting the divine beings of the celestial realms. Traversing through the dangers in each, uncovering mysteries, you eventually all found your way back to the exit portal back into the orrery chamber, and found yourselves teleported to the Anarvir bubble, or not the Anarvir bubble, the Illyria bubble, except for Rovick, who at the exit from the chamber, you were in the Tower of Storms in the plane of water, which is the home of your patron. And as Kieran passed through the exit portal, Rovick walked on by and headed towards the temple. So with that in mind, we're going to start in the orrery because as you all appear in the orrery chamber, you're at the Illyria orb, and suddenly, because you are so close, Indira's fear acknowledges your presence, and suddenly the room shifts and the orbs all begin to fly in a circle around the central orb of Anor, the sun, as it's moving around the central piece. And she kind of looks at you for a second and says, no, the portals are coming open. The planes are open to outside influences. There are things coming in to attack. And she flies out her arms, and you see these shields appear over each of the orbs, except for the Illyria orb, as like little bubbles or domes appear over them, like blocking off entrances or exits into the planes of existence. And she vanishes for a moment. And as you guys are watching and you're kind of spinning around the chamber, suddenly these entities begin to pop into existence. And these are going to look like things, but these are, this is a sword that's flying around. This is a sword flying around. This is a broom.
Oh my God.
That's a broom. And then clunking down on top of the orb at the plane of water, you see this like metallic metal armor piece that is just like pieces of armor that are animated by a spell that's now maneuvering within them, and it's kind of cranking into existence as it's here. I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh God.
And Rovick, I need you to roll initiative because when it comes to your turn, we are going to cut over to the plane of water and see what's happening over there.
Well, that was
and I need my glasses because I can't read that. I'll be right back.
Well, I rolled my my worst initiative ever game.
Oh, that's not the word.
Is it more than a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you beat then.
No, it's not more than a 5. It's Significantly less than a 5.
Oh, okay.
It's as less as you can be, Atwood.
0?
Yeah, I rolled a 0. I have a -1, and so I rolled a 0 initiative.
I got a 5.
Great, I'm happy for you.
17.
17. Just for your references, where we are, like the distances are not accurate to actual space. And so it's kind of like each square here is 10 feet instead of 5. So it's about between each orb, it's about 20 feet of distance, which for everybody except for Bonnie requires an athletics check to clear a jump there. And then all of them are flying about 20 feet away from the central orb, which is the sun. So 25 to 20. Ooh. Okay. 19 to 15. That was
17.
Kieran. Anybody else 19 to 15?
Did you roll for lucky, Atwood?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I will roll for lucky.
Yes.
Lucky rolled a 1 as well.
Wow.
Lucky always rolls terrible initiative. I don't know what this
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Sure.
14.
It's not bad to have the cleric going at the end of the round.
No, that is good. 14
It is
to
if
10.
everybody else is going at the end of the round.
Rovick, what'd you get?
6 on the dice, so a 9.
A 9. Andalus, what'd you get?
I got a 0.
Oh my gosh. And
literal
Bonnie, what
0.
did you get?
I rolled a 1. It totals to a 5.
Okay, so Rovick, Bonnie,
There were 3 nat 1s rolled.
Lucky, and Andalus.
Crazy,
That
actually.
is
Crazy,
absolutely insane. All right. So, Kieran, as these objects begin to appear in the chamber, what would you like to do?
There's domes, force domes over everything except for the platform we're on.
Yeah, so the Illyria is the only one that doesn't have a dome over it. So you feel like if you jump onto one of these domes, you're not going to get teleported into the plane, so you can move freely around the chamber.
So we're not gonna like slide off.
Oh no, you'll be okay. Yeah, they're more like less like they're not like half circles. They're more like just like slightly convex like closures over the top. Yeah, convex.
Like a sunroof.
Yeah, like a sunroof. Yeah, there you go.
I'll jump onto the sun in the middle.
Okay. So you leap. Go ahead and make an athletics check to clear the jump.
I fail it.
Is that a?
That's a 4 plus 2 for a 6.
4 plus 2 is
Oh,
6.
God.
Okay, so you watch as Kieran begins to fall, and Kieran, you fall between the two spaces, but you also notice that like the floor wasn't as far down as it was before, like the chamber is kind of closing in. So you only fall 10 feet. So you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you like crack and like kind of have to grab yourself from the floor. But you notice that the whole chamber now kind of curves up. So you can run to the outside and run up the wall to get up onto one of the moving platforms. It just will take, it's about, I think it's 5, 10, you'd have to dash. So it'll take like 30 feet of movement. You fell after only 10 feet, so you still have an action to dash if you'd like, and your full movement minus 10 feet of movement.
Okay. If I could get up on one of the, let's go for the fire.
Okay, so you run up the platform here and you land on the fire dome, and you immediately feel like this energy, like the moment you touch the dome, you feel this energy kind of fly up through you, like you're warm. It's not burning you, but there's some kind of magical effect is happening with you standing on this platform. But
Okay.
I think that is your action and your movement. Can you do anything with your bonus action?
What bonus action?
Perfect. Yeah, because I think your only bonus
There's
action.
nothing I can do.
Yeah, I
with
think
the
the only
bonus
thing you can do with the bonus action is
offhand
attack if you make an attack. Yeah, okay, good. All right, that takes us to our enemies. This sword is going to fly in towards you here, Kieran. This sword's going to fly in towards you here. The broom is flying towards Andalus, and this one is towards Bonnie. And then let's see which direction the armor's going to go.
What is that on the below the ground, just to the left of the platform I'm on?
That is a light.
Okay. It's not like a body of something, because that's kind of what it looks like.
Oh, no, it's a light. This can light up on the inside, but I didn't have it plugged in.
Okay.
So the armor's going to leap.
It's not H.R. Geiger kind of
No. The armor's going to leap this way. And then let's see if it clears this athletic check. Yeah. And then it's going to leap here, kind of kicking into this space here next to, Lucky, Bonnie, and Andalus. All right, cool. So I believe that the swords... Where are you at, animated objects? Flying sword. Gets one attack. So there's 2 attacks coming your way, Kieran, with advantage. The first one is... that'll I think that's an 18 to hit.
Yep.
And the second one will miss. That's only a 12. You take... It's a low roll. 4 points of slashing damage from one of the swords as it kind of just like flies out of the air and slashes down across your chest. But you're able to kind of dodge out of most of the damage from it as the other one kind of, you get hit by one and then bend backwards as the other one like slides over where your head was a second before. Bonnie, a broom flies up to hit you, and as it's flying, it goes to slam into you. That'll hit. That is that's a 22 to hit. And but you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits you, and then immediately flies away. And they have an ability that does not allow opportunity attacks against them when they fly in. Against Lucky, that may hit Lucky. That's a 17. I think that definitely hits Lucky.
You're muted, baby.
I would like to use my reaction, please.
Oh, to impose disadvantage. Okay, yeah. And that'll miss then. I think that's a 10, which I do not think beats Lucky's armor class. All right, and then the animated armor coming for you, Andalus.
Sure.
Gets to make 2 attacks.
Oh, that's so rude.
First one will hit. That's a 19 on the die. Second one will miss. That is a 12. And I think your armor class is 13 with mage armor.
Is it? Do I have mage armor?
Yes, Rovick did it at the start of the day.
It should be 13 plus. Oh yeah, 13 plus dex. Does that mean it's 12?
12. Oh, so then that hits because that is a 12 on the die. So you take. So both of those hit then. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this like metal arm just swings out and connects with you, and another one swings out and connects with you, and you can see like the blue magical energy like pouring out of it from all of its crevices and corners.
And then I'll use my reaction to blood guilt curse it.
Ooh.
So it deals damage to me, so it takes 1d6 plus my proficiency. So my proficiency is casting proficiency. It takes 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right. As this kicks off, so that is the enemy's turn, so we get a little rotation happening here. Boop, boop, boop. And then we cut away from this like climactic battle that kicks off with brooms and like this is some bed knobs and broom shits.
Oh, Josh, I'm reading now. Actually, that I think it lasts for a minute, and the first time on a turn, the target deals damage to another creature. It's going to take that damage.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't take it yet. That's okay. Cool. All right. All right. As we kind of pull back from the battle raging here, we see ourselves in the plane of water. The atmosphere of the tornado of water racing around the outside of the Tower of Storms. The circular portal exiting into this chamber is there behind you, Rovick, as you approach the door. And these massive kind of coral door frames with these like opaline or pearlescent doors, these carved tentacles coming around the outside of the door frame and kind of tracing across the outer door. And these two large brass pull knockers, each one with a carving of a kelpie or some kind of mythical sea beast at its head, holding the knockers there, and two massive pulls for the door that are tentacles that have lifted up into a 3D state where you can pull the doors open, and the doors are in front of you. Rovick, what would you like to do?
With my sea glass hilts, my weapon of choice, in one hand, I'll come up to the door and I will see if I can push it open.
Okay. So you come up to the door and go to push, and you're kind of pushing against it, and it doesn't budge as you push at the door. And Enigma kind of in your back, like shaking off the water, because like this part of the chamber, there's water, but you've kind of entered into an air bubble here, protected by the overhang. And he like shakes off the water and goes, maybe it's a pull door.
I try to pull the door open.
Okay. The door like creaks and then like scrapes across the ground as it opens. And water from interior like rushes out and fills this area that you were just in, and you kind of lift up off the ground, and you can swim into the chamber beyond.
Okay. I move forward.
Okay. As you go into the chamber, the opening chamber here is this like grand entrance foyer that is lined with living coral, and you can see various kind of, it's like if you were inside of a massively opulent, like a Las Vegas casino style aquarium. So like all of the live coral with fish moving within them. You see like a shadow circling above you in kind of circles, and there are live sharks in this chamber, like up above you here. But there's staircases which don't make a lot of sense for a swimming people, but I think it's just the aesthetic. There's like coral staircases that go up around the outside to a second floor chamber, like doorway. And then there's a couple doors off to the side in the lower area that go into various different directions. Now, you've been here before. When you came the first time, you know that the second floor chamber typically leads to Albahar's audience chamber, and the lower chambers are like the hoard where he keeps all of like the treasure rooms and the wealth, as well as like the servants' quarters and things like that, like spiral off into the lower recesses of the tower. But you also know that like his chamber, like the audience chamber, is on the second floor, but his like personal chambers are higher up into the tower. So if he's in the audience chamber, he's right there. But if he's further up, then he would be higher.
Actually, I'm going to go to the lower chambers where he would be housing some of his wealth and his artifacts and whatnot.
Okay. So you swim through silently enough that you do not attract the attention of the sharks swimming above, nor any of the other like like eels and like giant octopuses and things that are hiding in the crevices, ready to tackle any enemies of Albahar in this space. And you swim over to the doorway that you know leads to one of the treasure chambers, and it is unlocked, which seems strange.
Okay, I'll tell Enigma, stay here and keep an eye out. If you see anything, just yell for me, please.
I can't swim, and those are things that will eat me. But sure, I guess.
If you want to come with me, you can.
He like digs down into your pack.
All right, it's the safest place as any. And I move forward into the unlocked chamber.
Okay, so you push open the door. And the last time you were here, like, you know that this chamber was just like overflowing with like floor to ceiling cases of all kinds of magical items and piles of gold and gems in every nook and cranny, like opulent items just hanging from the ceiling, like beautiful display cases. And this first treasure room of many within this palace extends for about 50 feet after the door opens, and you kind of like push the door open and move into the chamber, and like these orb lights kind of light up in the chamber, and they're just kind of these free floating orbs that kind of just float in the gentle current of the chamber, and they like light up all the way down through the 50 feet. And you are looking at a completely barren treasure hall, except for at the far end, you see a single object kind of rotating on a podium, just kind of floating in the water, rotating, a couple lights around it. A plinth, thank you. A couple lights around it, like lighting it up. But you can't really tell what it is 50 feet away through the water, but there's just one lit magical item floating off in the back.
Okay, I'll approach cautiously.
Okay, so you move forward, and what you see...
They left it.
What you see as you approach is a rolled parchment, and floating next to it is a golden shark bone quill. Very familiar to you as the exact shark bone quill that you signed your original contract with Albahar with. And that's
definitely...
let's say, and that's where we'll cut to Bonnie. Bonnie, cutting back into the chamber, we see Bonnie here. You've got nothing's on you because the other broom moved after it hit Lucky. Nothing's on you, but there is an armor like right next to Andalus.
I'm gonna shout, Kieran, catch.
Okay.
Then I am going to cast Divine Bulwark.
Okay.
As a bonus action, and throw in my shield.
Perfect. What is you have? It's a +3 bonus for the shield
with Divine Bulwark cast on it, I think.
Yes. So Kieran, this is the first time you've used it to throw your shield to another ally, and you say that to Kieran, but Kieran doesn't actually have to catch it, because what happens is the shield kind of releases from Bonnie and flies across the chamber. It gets to you, Kieran, and then freezes in the air, and then begins to rotate around you, ready to intercept the blows from the swords in the chamber here. Your AC is now increased by 3.
Thank you, 3.
As long as this shield is floating here, Bonnie's is reduced by 3. All right. So that is your action, Bonnie. What would you like to do with your bonus action?
Mine's reduced by 2.
2. Yeah. That's only, yeah. So what is your, what would you like to do with your bonus action or movement?
So that was my bonus action.
Oh, did I make Divine Bulwark a bonus action?
The spell is a bonus action. Throwing it is an action. What is your, or is it just the?
Oh yeah, because you can also use it to throw it to do damage, right?
Okay, so getting it to an ally is just a bonus action, but like throwing it to do damage is an action.
Yes, that's how we were. Yeah. Okay. So if you're using it to, because there's a cost to giving it to an ally, which is your AC is now low, and the cost of doing damage is spending the action. So that's All
right. So in that case, I've still got an action and movement.
Perfect.
I am going to get that broom.
Okay, so you're the one that's on the sun.
Yes.
Okay, go. You don't have to make it clear because 20 feet is good enough for your bunny hopping. So you land over here. You take 1 point of fire damage as you land above the sun, and you can feel the radiating heat off of it coming into this space. But you are face to face with the broom.
Don't you have fire resistance from the?
You do.
From the.
So you cannot take less than 1 point of damage, but they will cut your the damage in half if the roll is higher on future rolls. But the broom's there in front of you if you'd like to attack it.
Is it behaving like a magic broom? Like, is it behaving like a riding broom, or is this behaving like a sorcerer's apprentice broom?
It's like you've seen several brooms animated around the university, and it's behaving like one of those, but instead of like cleaning up dirt, it's cleaning up you.
Okay, but it's still just a broom, right?
Yes, it's still just a broom that's been animated by Indira's magic. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to try to grab it and shove it into the floor so it burns.
So you've got the glass orb that's protecting, like is keeping you from actually stepping onto the sun. It's just the radiating heat from the sun coming through it. Okay. So you could try to break the glass.
No, I'm not going to go that far.
That would be bad.
Bad idea.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna.
You do have fire resistance.
I do have fire resistance. I am gonna try to grapple the broom, and then like we'll see how it goes. But like first, I'm gonna try to like win this wrestling contest with the broom.
Sure, absolutely. So with grapple, you can you have 2 attacks. One of your attacks can be a grapple, and so you make an attack roll, and then they're going to make a dexterity saving throw to try to break through, and you have to just beat their dexterity saving throw, which is not high. You have to beat a 11.
24.
Okay, so as it tries to dodge out of the way, you snatch the broom out of the air, and now you have this like broom that's like trying to wiggle and fight its way out of your grasp. So that's your first attack. What would you like to do with your second attack?
I would like to try to snap it over my knee.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
You say no?
12.
That hits because it is grappled in your hand. You feel like it probably wouldn't hit if you weren't holding it. But let's see. So you're trying to snap it. Let's go ahead and make this a athletics check against, and I'm going to roll like its strength as like how strong are the fibers. And if you beat it, I will let you snap it. That is, so you'll need to beat a 15 with an athletics check.
Okay. I don't think I have anything that can buff this, so I think it's just a straight up roll. Okay, let's see. Nope. It's a 6.
Oh no. Adding your strength modifier, and you're not proficient in athletics?
I'm not proficient, no.
Okay, so just adding your strength modifier, which is a plus 3? Or plus, okay. Yeah, so you go ahead and roll 1d6 for me. Okay, so you do 2 points of damage as you kind of stress the broom, but it doesn't snap as you're kind of trying to push it over, and you realize like the magic that's brought it alive is making it hardier than a broom normally would, because I'm sure in Bonnie's rage at one of her 32 children has probably snapped a broom before.
And has snatched one out of the air before, I'm
sure, yeah. And so it's there. But you still have it in your hand. It has to actively escape from your grapple, so you can hold on to it for the next round. All right. That takes. Oh, and at the end of your turn, Lucky, or not Bonnie, another 1 point of fire damage from standing on the sun. That takes us to.
Might as well be walking on the sun.
Yeah, that takes us to Lucky. What would you like Lucky to do?
Lucky is going to go for this armor set that's right in front of them.
Okay. So they can make. They have. Just trying to see. They do have Toll the Dead. If you want to do a
well, they've got their pepper box.
Pepper box would be at disadvantage because it is within attack range, like a melee range.
Okay, I thought they were at the back. They're at the front.
Like the armor kind of moved up right between Andalus and Lucky, so is it within 5 feet of both. The spell face you could do Toll the Dead or Sacred Flame, neither of which would be affected by the distance. But I think those are. I don't know if
we'll do Toll the Dead.
They also have a mace. Okay, Toll the Dead. So that is a Wisdom saving throw.
16 to beat.
16. Now it does more damage if it's already damaged. But this is just, it's not damaged yet, so you're just rolling 2d8. Otherwise, it's 1d12. That is a 4. Nope. That's a 4 on the die, and its wisdom is -4. That is a 0.
Fail.
Yeah, so 2d8 damage to the armor.
10 damage.
10 points of damage. Nice. As this like bell rings out in the chamber and the energy cascades through the armor, and you can see it interrupt the magic within it for a second, but then it pulls itself back together. All right. Do you want, if Lucky moves, he will take an opportunity attack. Do you just want to leave Lucky where he is?
Yes. Toll the Dead is
it's a action.
Standard action.
Yeah.
So bonus actions.
The only bonus action spell they have is Healing Word and Sanctuary.
Oh, spiritual weapon.
Oh yeah, you could cast Spiritual Weapon. Yep.
The spiritual weapon is a bonus action.
It is,
I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon.
Okay, where would you like
let's have more inanimate objects
you.
flying around in here.
Where would you like the spiritual weapon to appear?
Helping out Kieran, or as close to Kieran as it can get.
What's the range on that?
Spiritual weapon is
plan if that doesn't
60
work.
feet, but it can. It's not 50, 60. It's about right here, which means it's not within range to attack right now. But now okay. So when the range is 60 feet. As a bonus action, you can move it 20 feet. Oh no! So you have to. So the first round, you have to cast it as a bonus action, so you can't move it. But if you want to, you could go for the broom on Bonnie, and then in the next round, move it if you would like.
Well, Bonnie's grappling it. I feel like that's gonna.
Oh, that would be difficult. Yeah. So so then it gets.
Isn't there another flying broom?
There's another broom over here if you want to put it there.
Well, I just
haven't attacked the broom.
I just don't want you on your own over there.
I got a plan.
Okay. in that case, yeah, the broom that thinks it's safe.
Okay, perfect. So this, I think it's been a horseshoe.
Can I change my mind one final time?
Sure, yeah.
Say we put it behind the armor set that's right in front of us, so whoever attacks it next gets advantage.
It doesn't work that way. It's because it's not a creature, so it can't give advantage. But it can attack if you want it to. But if you want to go for the broom,
we'll go after the broom.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll using. I think you can just. Yeah, you can click the +8 on spiritual weapon to do that, and that uses this spell slot. Cool.
Probably a miss. Spiritual weapon gets a +8.
+8.
So that's a 10 to hit.
A 10 to hit the broom. That misses. But it is out on the field now and ready to fight. And it's within 20 feet of both brooms. So you can like move it to either of the brooms right now on the next turn. All right. That takes us to Andalus. You've got an animated armor on you.
That I do. I'm gonna poison spray it.
Perfect.
So it has to make con save.
Let me just double check. Okay, it's immune to the poison condition, but it's not immune to poison. Oh no, it is immune to poison. So you go ahead and cast.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
I wouldn't know.
I think animated objects is something that witches play around with all the time. So make an Arcana check for me.
Okay, let's see if I would have known.
I mean, like, I feel like an animated
I rolled
broom.
Another fucking nat one, Josh.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Shit.
Like you've seen animated objects around your training location, but you never thought to poison one, so you're not sure. But the spell flies out of your hand and coats the armor, and it's just like dripping off of it, and you can tell that the spell has had no effect.
Okay, I will then, for my bonus action, curse another curse upon this fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It gets the Leeching Vine.
Okay.
Yes, and that does. Sorry, I'm trying to read what this does. Yeah, and when the creature takes damage, we can use your reaction to give it health from that creature.
Okay. Perfect. So keep that in mind as a curse activates there. Perfect on the creature. Perfect. All right. That takes us to the top of the round. Kieran, as you are here on the fire orb, suddenly for a moment you see appearing out of a gloaming darkness. Indira's fear is here, notices how close you are, and then is going to teleport away. I need you to roll a D8 for me.
D8. 4.
4. All right. So as you are kind of looking, you see she vanishes from this point and then appears on the earth one. And the moment she makes contact with the orb, you see this like rippling energy like wash across the room, and you see it wash over all of the animated guardians in the chamber, that you think that like each time she's interacting with an orb, it's having some kind of effect on the guardians that she's summoning within the chamber. All right. That takes us to Kieran.
I am going to attack one of the swords.
Okay.
The swords.
That's cocked.
Respect the cock.
That is a 15.
Animated swords, that hits.
All right. The Throngler does
I forgot.
12 damage. And it has the sap condition, which means got disadvantage on its next attack roll. Since I'm flanked, it has a regular attack.
Perfect. As you hit it, you are hitting out and you expect like the ringing sound of hitting steel. And it sounds instead like you have impacted a stone wall. And you do not think it did as much damage as you would hope against it.
Okay. Second attack against the other one.
Okay.
That is an 18.
That hits.
And that does 4 plus 7. That does 12.
Same thing. You feel like it doesn't. 11. So that's 5. So it takes 5 points of damage as.
And that too has the sap condition, so it's going to roll with straight up.
Perfect.
So they no longer get advantage from flanking. And then I'm going to smack that one again with Steve.
The second one? Okay. Yep.
That is a 28.
That hits.
And Steve is to die 4. Five.
No, I don't think you got that effect. You didn't get that. Okay, no. 5. Okay, so it does 2 points of damage. Perfect. All right. I was trying to keep my days in order. You don't have the bonus of the extra damage die today. No. All right. That takes us to the enemies as the broom in your hand, Bonnie, is going to try to escape. So go ahead and roll a strength check for me, please, against their dexterity. You need to beat a 6. I rolled a 3.
13.
Okay. So the broom uses its action to try to escape, and it cannot. So it is now kind of fighting against you. The armor is going to, again, Bonnie, or sorry, Andalus, since you have been attacking it, it's going to try to hit you twice.
Sure.
13 on the die. That is, yeah, okay. And then second attack, that's an 18 on the die. So both hit. You take, that's low. That's also low. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as it slams into you twice, and then something happens when it attacks you.
Yes, so it takes the psychic damage.
So it takes the 7 from the psychic, right? That you rolled earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And then it also takes, yes, it does that, and that's all for now, unless it gets damaged.
Perfect. Okay, cool. And it is looking like it's taking a beating. It's looking like it might be on the verge of collapse. All right. And then
Josh, it can use an action if it still has an action to try to rip the vine off.
Okay. It's not smart enough to know that and it hasn't done anything to it yet, so it doesn't know it's a danger. And then the other broom is going to, I'm not going to move it, but it's going to fly in your direction, Bonnie, and it's going to do a flyby attack. But it's going to miss. That is only I don't know, with your lower armor class, that is a 12. Miss. Okay, cool. And then it flies back to its location, not knowing that the flying horseshoe is a dangerous thing. And then the two swords are going to make standard attacks against Kieran. The first one is 15 to hit. I think that misses Kieran. Misses. And then the second one is also, I rolled 2 10s back to back. That's also 15. So both miss. The work of your sap doing its job to prevent them from attacking as we get another round of rotation. Sorry, Andalus.
Yes.
Oh, no. You're standing where you are. Never mind. Cool. Sorry. I have too many mechanics on this fight.
Here's the thing.
It's okay.
Here's the thing, Josh. Assume Andalus' side is not moving because he cannot jump. He cannot successfully roll athletics. So you just leave him wherever he is.
Yeah, I have too many mechanics here. If Indira is standing on an orb, it causes something to happen. If you're standing on an orb, it causes something to happen.
Okay. I'm not moving, so
you're not moving. So this is, you are on Illyria. Nothing happens there. Okay, cool.
Great. I'm gonna stay here the whole fight.
All right, and we get that rotation as everything kind of moves around. The broom and the spiritual weapon do not rotate because they're flying, and they kind of come over here. So they are in the same location where they were, but the whole thing's moved. The swords are trapped with the fire plane, so they kept traveling with the fire plane. All right. That takes us back to Rovick. So as you enter the chamber, Rovick, you see this spinning, rotating parchment and the quill next to it. What would you like to do?
I'm going to reach out and see if I can pick up the quill. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Sure. So you reach out and grab the quill and the parchment, and the two like orbs that were flying around it, kind of lighting it, giving it like special lighting, kind of lift up and just kind of generally light the chamber as the quill falls into your hand and the parchment. Like that familiar feeling of this shark bone quill, but plated in gold with just the exposed writing tip with like an orb of ink magically adhered to it, ready to write something down. And the parchment, which is like full kelpie skin parchment rolled up. You can unravel the scroll and you see your contract. The agreement that you made with Albahar, all of the the reasons why the agreement is made, the power that he is willing to give you, the cost of that with your going out and finding magical items and sending it back his way. You see your signature. You know, when you were younger, more confident. But you see a new text at the bottom. A proposed addendum to the contract. And Albahar's voice rings out in the chamber. My magical hunter. Welcome back to the Tower of Storms. It went so well for you the last time you were here, didn't it?
What an asshole. I'll just respond. How did you know I would be here? Who tipped you off?
And you feel like something itching on your forearm. And you see like barnacles popping up all along the tattoo on your forearm. And he's like, the subscript in the agreement gives me an eye on everything that you do. You don't travel my waves unnoticed.
Well, if that ain't creepy. What's this here in the contract? I don't remember this being in our original agreement.
Well, you'll notice a new signature line to accept the change. I see that you have made a kinship with a certain sphinx, whose mate at this moment hunts she who stole these items. And you see like a spectral vision of the items that Toothalamus described to you, like the one that could bind a wizard's power, kind of appears as a mirage floating in the waves. So we can do something to protect my former charge. Adding a few more years to the contract that you have agreed to, and I'll make sure that she doesn't feel the claws and the bite of the Sphinx.
Well, let me ask you this. What happened to all the riches that were overflowing in this chamber? It seems like you're running a little light on goods here.
Oh, a down payment for a more brighter future.
Huh. Down payment to whom?
Are you going to sign to protect your mother or not?
Well, I'm thinking if you're having to make down payments, then you might be a little hard up yourself. Maybe there's more that we could do to make this beneficial for both of us.
You know that there are more treasure rooms than just this one in the palace.
Yeah, I also know signing the original contract was supposed to keep my mother safe.
Well,
I don't see why I'd have to
from me,
add on to this with an addendum.
The original contract keeps your mother safe from me. I am not a danger to her. Because you are doing such a good job.
I would argue the work that you sent her out to do has put her in this current predicament, which means you would be the danger.
I am not a devil, young Rovick. I do not play in lawful deals. You signed a contract that says that your mother would be safe from me. But I am willing to make adjustments to keep you in the good graces of our deal. I would hate to see you feeling that you need to rush off to protect a woman who cursed herself with her choices. Don't be like her. Make good ones.
I signing myself away to you. I feel like that's exactly the choices that she regretted.
Feel free to read, but it's just for 2 additional years. What that puts you at? A clean dozen?
And what exactly are you willing or able to do to keep her safe?
Everywhere that the water touches is now my domain. She's safe enough on the seas. She's made Azalor her home for now. Beneath the waves, there's so much that I can do to protect.
I need some time. I need some time to think. I think that's not too much to ask, is it?
The portal is going to close soon.
We have ways to communicate without these portals.
Well, but you can only sign in the presence of the chamber. I'll give you a moment to think. And the voice kind of retreats from the chamber, and the contract is there in front of you. You're free to read it. You're free to sign. But you know that Al-Bahar is not one to make lawful deals. He chooses the chaos of the moment that matches best for what he needs. And we cut back to the chamber as Bonnie, a broom, flies by, smacks you, or tries to smack you, misses, and then flies back away from you as you have another broom in your hands. What would you like to do?
We're going to try to actually snap this one this time.
Okay.
I also do love that Bonnie is halfway around the world and is still being assaulted by domestic.
Yeah. Okay, so it's another strength check. That's cocked. It's another strength check against their strength, as in their like tenacity. So go ahead and make one. I'll tell you that I rolled low this time. That is only a 7.
There we go. That's a 18.
Okay, cool. So as you kind of like force through, you feel it kind of the fibers of the broom stretching and cracking, and then it slams over your leg, and you can see the magic escape from it as it kind of flies up and around. And the sound that it makes as you're trying to break it sounds like crushing rocks, not wood. And you get the impression that standing on the plane of Earth has changed the nature of these objects in the chamber. So that broom is gone. What would you like to do with your movement or bonus action?
That's one to my, as I'm looking at this, to the left, right, on the red planet.
On the red planet, that is that is Indira's sphere. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna jump over to Indira's sphere.
Okay, cool. As you approach, go ahead and roll a D8 for me, please. 5. All right. She kind of sees you, and like you sense that like she was holding a reaction for something, and the moment you're there, she's like, "Oh no, invaders from the outer planes!" And she vanishes and appears. On the plane of air. And the moment she touches the plane of air, you see this like energy wash across the chamber, and Kieran with these swords swinging around you that felt like, like rocks flying through the air. Suddenly, like their entire essence kind of shifts, and they kind of look like zephyrs, like swords flying on the wind, and their essence changes. But you are now on the plane of Earth, there, Bonnie. And you get the sense that you're looking. Go ahead and make an insight check as you're looking at fear.
Yes. 15.
15. Yeah, you get the sense that like she's looking at you, but she's glancing over at Illyria as well, where Bonnie and or Lucky and Andalus are, and there's like a panic in her eyes. You get the sense that like whenever you are within a certain range of her, you are activating her fear, and now she's pinned in on both sides by what she perceives right now as enemies.
All right, I would like to use my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And channel divinity to cast Emissary of Peace.
Okay, and read what that does for me exactly.
That gives me a +5 bonus to my charisma checks for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. So on your next turn, you can use, I'll let you do one as part of the casting of this to make a charisma check. What are you trying to convince Indira's Fear to do?
I want to convince Fear that we don't mean her any harm, that we just want to talk to her.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and make a charisma check.
Okay, so this is +5.
It's a persuasion, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Persuasion, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's a 24.
The words kind of fly out of you, and they almost like take on this like form of like a gentle lullaby that a mother would sing to a child like afraid at night of the terrors under the bed. And it hits in Fear for a moment, and you see her eyes clear for just a second. And as she shakes to try to like drive the words out of you, she loses control of the spell that she was casting, and she appears on Illyria. And you suddenly feel the air dampen, and so the objects around the chamber no longer have any kind of bonuses there. And for a second, standing on the ground of Illyria, you can see like Fear grows calm, and she sees the two of you standing next to her, and she stays for a moment.
Oh.
While on, I'll let you know, as the effect of Illyria is that if teleported here, Illyria maintains this location for one turn, which gives you an opportunity to interact with her and stop what she's doing. Good. That takes us to Lucky.
Lucky is going to carry off of that energy and try to keep it going.
Okay.
And she's going to ask, she's going to ask Fear if Fear needs a hug.
Okay. This is a straight, there's no persuasion or anything to this. This is a straight charisma check to try to bring Fear out of the thing that has been driving her for 200 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just trying to see if there's any bonus, anything. Lucky.
She has a +3, or they have a +3, yeah. Uh-huh.
Lucky is all pronouns, so you're all good.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm trying to see if they have any way to buff it there.
Just a +3. Because Emissary of Peace is activated here, I'll give you the proficiency bonus as well. So this is +6.
Okay. Let's cast it then. So this is going to be +6 to whatever I roll here. Mm-hmm. That's a 20.
So I will read you exactly what I wrote. Illyria, if Fear teleports to Illyria, she stays in place for 1 round and can be captured here. A DC of 18 check will keep Fear in Illyria for an additional round. A DC 20 ends the conflict.
No way.
As Lucky kind of opens their arms and asks, "Would you like a hug?" You see like the glass body of Fear, which has been like tense and moving as if expecting a fight from every corner, suddenly like drops and softens, and then reaches out, wraps her arms around Lucky, and you watch as Kieran, the 2 swords that are just about to stab into your direction, both just like freeze and then fall and collapse into the chamber below. The broom falls and collapses in the chamber below. The armor all of the magical energy flies out of it and the pieces clatter off into the space below. And each of you breathes for a moment, knowing that you have tamed Indira's fear.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Just as
Angelos is standing there while they're hugging, and he's kind of like lifting his arms a little bit. Like he doesn't know if he should hug too, or if this is like, what is the faux pas of the hug? So he keeps like lift arms down, arms up, down.
Indira kind of pulls back from it for a second and kind of looks at you and Lucky. And the room continues to spin, but it doesn't take long for Bonnie and Kieran to kind of hop carefully back over towards Illyria. And as you land on Illyria, the little orbs protecting all of the other planes lift off. And so now the portal in the plane of water is reopened for Rovick to escape, because he wouldn't have been able to. She kind of looks at each of you and says, I am sorry, I thought that you were invaders who had turned my spell of observation against me to bring the powers of the outer planes here, the great dangers that exist. Who are you?
All right.
Why are you here?
The veil isn't an issue anymore. So things are different outside now.
She kind of lifts a hand, and you see the black orb of the Shadowfell kind of lift off from its space and fly over to where you are. And she releases a spell, and you watch like the shadow that was encompassing it clear. And now just floating in front of you is a scrying orb. And she kind of looks and she says, all I see is the dangers of Kanaka and Vidya, and Caiaphas and his council there waiting to take over. You're saying I am seeing wrong.
Well, it's not encroaching here anymore like it was.
Like the orb is in front of her face, and she's looking at it. What you see, Angelus, is what you saw when you were there, like a crumbling city that's collapsing and falling apart without its god to keep it whole. The smattering of devils and demons, which once marched under the same banner, now fighting for control of the remnants of what remains. And what she's describing that she's seeing doesn't match what you're seeing. And the orb is floating right there between you.
I was just there, and it's not the powerful place you're thinking it is.
You were just in the plane of shadow here. She kind of reaches out a hand for yours.
I very awkwardly take it.
And she places your hand, like she takes your hand and then directs it to the orb. And the moment you touch the orb, all Angelus's eyes like flash blue as the memory of what you saw is downloaded into the orb. And you can see that like for her vision is clearing. Her vision is changing. The fear that she's had is washing away and revealing the truth. She kind of steps back. Hey, that is not a peaceful place, but it is not one controlled by the veil. Then why were we not called back to Indira? If the war is over.
That's what we're here to help with.
Okay.
You were all split apart, and we're trying to help you come back together.
We were separated from her so that she could focus on what she needed to do to protect Highwall as best she could. And the people here.
The threat's
she
over
needs all
now,
of you back
so.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The moment I step off of this plane, I will return to what I was before. Do you have a way to get me there without leaving?
I I like look for Rovick. I'm like, damn it.
Rovick has the hole.
He's got the hole.
Yeah.
Where is he?
As we cut back
I like yell, where is Rovick?
As we cut back to the plane of water, Rovick, like distant, like back towards where the portal was at the entrance to this chamber, you just hear through the waves, like Andalus's voice ringing through the portal, like, where is Rovick? Where is he? Kind of coming through as the parchment is there in front of you, the quill in your hand. What would you like to do?
Oh my gosh. What do I know? If I try to grab this parchment and just run out of here with it, swim out of here with it, what does that mean for
your contract?
My safety?
Nothing good.
Yeah, you know that this is your copy of the contract and that Albahar keeps his own.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
You know, not signing the contract doesn't change your contract. It just means that the addendum doesn't be put on. Yeah.
And then it adds another
2 years,
task.
Which I will let you roll an insight check.
Dude, make the cat sign it. I'm just kidding. Make the cat.
Enigma's like reading over your shoulder.
I forgot a comma.
Enigma has a higher intelligence than Albahar.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, probably not a bad idea for Enigma to look at it. Like,
you guys have a lawyer into the thing. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's looking at it, and he just kind of.
No insight to add.
Well, you didn't ask.
Well, I'm asking now.
Oh, well, your contract sucks.
Yeah, that kind of happens.
You gave up
people in my
a lot of things to protect someone, and now she's in danger again. It seems like that didn't work out very well.
What a little shit.
Please just go back in the pack.
Well, you didn't read the addendum because it doesn't just add 2 years to your contract. And the insight check, you're thinking about this, and the moment Enigma
15 on the dice.
Yeah, the moment Enigma says that, you are already thinking it. 2 years seems like such a minuscule amount of time to this immortal entity to do something as bold as guarantee not just his protection from him, but from the Sphinx for your mother. The only entity that you know would be hunting your mother. The only real danger that she would face outside of Albahar himself. 2 years seems like such a minuscule amount of time. And Enigma says, well, you didn't read the addendum.
I read the addendum.
The addendum states that Albahar will, from now until her death, ensure that your mother does not face the claws or stings or death from the Sphinx, which, God, I forgot his name as in this moment. And it's a weird name. It's not going to come to me.
Yeah.
It's like Ushepnum or Upundum. It's a weird name.
Like we're going to know different.
No, Roddy wrote it down. But, oh wait, I think I have it right here. Let's see. Visnutman. And so like it says that, like that is, and it says, you know, with the added payment from Rovick Seaborn for 2 additional years to feed the coffers of Albahar's hoard. And then in a small enough font as to be slightly potentially overlooked if you were just glancing, but with Enigma's focus and your insight check and not trusting Albahar, you notice it also says, plus the vials of that magical dust that you carry within your person right now. And you know you have 2 or 3 or 4 vials of aether dust on your person.
We had a lot of it in the hole too.
Yes,
right?
but Kieran has all of the rest. Kieran has a bunch of it, and I think a lot of it's in the hole. But Kieran and Bonnie put it in the hole, and it wasn't an action that you directly did. And so he's not aware that that happened. But he does know that you collected somewhere between 4 and 5 vials of it. And based on your conversation with Lucky, from what occurred the night before, you know that that is 4 or 5 level 9 spells that you're handing to Albahar. Level 9 spells like Wish, level 9 spells that could completely change the time stop, that could change the course of events for Albahar's growth in power.
Yeah.
Just cross them out and then sign.
What exactly do you plan on happening within the next 2 years?
You're asking Albahar?
Yeah.
He comes back. Are you ready to sign then?
I'm just curious what moves you're making. You're emptying out your coffers here. You're looking for more power, I assume.
Well, what do you have?
What are you planning?
You have 3 years left on your current contract, I think. 2 additional. 5 is such a light number. Is it so little to ask of you to give just a couple more years of your youth and enter into the world a free and wiser man?
Yeah, I don't know. If it's a world that you're planning to flood, then I don't think it'll be a world worth living in.
Then it can be a world worth living in without your mother.
You already guaranteed you wouldn't touch her.
I don't have to. The Snootman is an able hunter. But don't sign.
I can't do it.
That's
Can't
fine.
do it. There's no way. There's no way. I don't trust you enough.
As you say that, his voice, like his laughter, rings out in the hall. And it's just, it begins to fill the chamber, and you can feel like through the waves, you don't know where he is. He's in his audience chamber. He's in the top portions. This is his lair. He is controlling everything here. You feel that laughter energy ricocheting through the waves, carrying you, following you, chasing you out of this chamber as you fly, as you swim out, the parchment falling behind and turning into bubbles and filling the chamber behind you. The golden quill vanishing, your opportunity to sign gone as the laughter follows you out. You hit the portal and you all watch as Rovick comes out of the plane of water, drenched. What does he look like, Rovick? What do they see on your face in this moment?
At that instant,
Yeah.
probably just, worry and concern, and it's really almost defeated. But Rovick is always going to have to put on a strong face. So as soon as he notices his compatriots, his traveling partners, he'll try to snap out of it and take stock of what's going on around us.
Andalus, I think Andalus maybe wisdom high enough. You probably catch the change, and maybe Lucky too. But what is obvious to everybody, even if you don't notice that Rovick, who's so good at hiding the internal struggles that he has, is his entire right arm, where that tattoo was, the tattoo that displayed the pact, the boon of the pact that your mother once had. You just see barnacles tracing up the arm and onto the shoulder. These calcite deposits digging into Rovick's skin, carrying the scars of the choice. Yeah, go ahead.
I misty step over to him if I won't fall into the water. Please tell me I won't die.
Oh, so sorry. I said that he popped out of the plane of water, but the portals take him to the Illyria thing. So he pops up next to you all. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got my like, I go to like help you up, touch your arm, and then I stop like short of your arm. And I'm like, Rovick, are you okay?
That water plane is a little treacherous is all. I'm fine.
I like give you like a look. And then I hold up my hands to you to like help yourself up.
I'll take your hand.
Okay. He's so heavy. He helps you up. He's not super strong. He's just heavy.
Yeah.
You missed Bonnie breaking a broom.
I guess that's not a strange thing.
And Indira's fear is...
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Mr. Rifton had this genius plan where he fell off just so he could like super cool run up the side again and get back on. I was like, I would never think to fall off. It was crazy.
He was like one of them ninjas I keep sure telling about.
It's a ninja.
Pretty impressive. So I see you guys were kind of taking care of yourselves pretty well while I was away.
We did miss you, though.
And we need the whole... That sounds weird when I say it like that. We need the magical plane of existence.
Okay, all right. I know what you're talking about. Let's...
Miss Indira here.
I'll reach in my pack and push the cat out the way and pull the hole out.
Hi, Enigma.
Oh, hey. How are you all?
Good. Did you have a good time?
I did. I got to read the writings of a Merid, and they do not have good grammar.
You what?
Oh, just some stuff he saw sketched on a wall or something. I don't know. Just...
May I make an insight check, please?
As Bonnie, you're making the insight check, Enigma gets into your ear, Rovick, and says, "What do you give me if I stay silent?"
Yeah, just please try.
You like to make deals.
The 5, Josh.
Oh yeah, like you think that Rovick is telling the truth that
it's a cat. It's gonna always just be messing with you.
There's graffiti all over the place.
Enigma says, "I think that you should convince Joy to make fish for dinner."
I think I can do that just for you.
If you do not, if there is not a halibut on my plate, your friends will know everything.
There's no need to threaten.
I don't make threats. It's a promise.
You helping me out.
Oh, look, they're whispering to each other. I think they're really getting along.
Enigma kind of looks at you, Andalus, and then just kind of nuzzles back down into Rovick's pack.
It's so nice you made friends with Enigma.
Yeah, we're making some type of connection.
Enigma pops back up. I have no friends yet. And then curls back down into your pack.
Oh, I can work on that.
He's just adorable. Okay, well, here's the hole. What's the plan? What are we doing here?
Well, we're heading back.
Yeah, we have to bring Indira back.
Fear says,
safely.
If I step off of this particular plane orbiting here, then the original fears of the other planes will retake, and I will return to being uncontrollable.
Curiosity took a trip in the hole. It's only fitting that you do the same as well.
Well, it is a demi-plane. I cannot breathe, and therefore will not die.
Oh, breathing, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, so you stretch out the hole onto the surface here.
Okay.
And Indira's sphere kind of jumps into it and lands, is looking around, and she's like, "Hey, this is a dusty chamber," and starts casting Prestidigitation, and like suddenly like the interior chamber that is like the storage room of the hole just like becomes just dust free, shining, and she's like, "This is quite the barren except for all of these bags of special dust. What is this?
Please don't mess with those. They'll get everywhere if you mess with them.
Oh, she's kind of looking at it, and you see she casts Identify. She says,
Okay.
Perhaps keep this away from curiosity.
I'd love to keep everything away from her.
Mm-hmm. Do you pick up the whole, Rovick? So the words keep this away from curiosity, which all of you know, curiosity was in it.
Unfortunately.
Vanishes as the whole picks back up and you are able to fold it.
But
and
not
put
at
it
the
back in
same
your
time
pack.
as the dust.
Yeah, that's true. And you put it back in your backpack and you have the hole. And with Albahar's words and laughter ringing in Rovick's ears, you all make your way back to the main platform. And the moment you touch the iron ladder or the iron staircase that spirals down to the base, you can see that slowly it was iron before, and the floor as you walked through it was a dark clouded storm. You can see like the dark cloudiness beginning to fade, and that this chamber ceiling, it was just glass. And you can now, as you're walking below, you can see the orrery has returned to its normal structure, and it's just spinning idly above your head as you descend. And with every step, you can see the flakes of the iron kind of rising off and disintegrating as the staircase returns to its glass form as you make your way down. And down at the base, looking up at you, is Joy. And she says, 2 down, just 1 more to go. And that's what we'll pick up next week.
Woohoo!
We did it. I didn't use the power of words.
The power of words. Yeah,
No.
this was. I will let you know. This is a fun like behind the curtains thing. One, you couldn't have damaged Fear. So and she wouldn't have attacked you anyway. But every single time she arrived back on the sun, she would have summoned more guardians. Here's the thing that goes from there. If you're on the negative plane, you're blinded. And if she's on the negative plane, she's invisible. The positive plane, all of the summons regain hit points, but also if you were on the positive plane, you would have regained hit points. The water plane makes you resistant to bludgeoning and slashing damage, which she never arrived there. None of you were on it. The fire plane makes you resistant to fire and lightning damage. The earth, when she's on it, so those effects were on them, if she was on the fire plane. On the earth plane, it made them resistant to piercing and slashing damage and bludgeoning damage. And then the air made them immune to ranged attacks. And then if she lands on the sun, she's able to recast to summon more guardians. And if you're on the sun, then you take damage each turn. And then Illyria was the only place where it had no effect on you, but it allowed her to reconnect with what was happening in the realm and gave that opportunity for you to convince her. And basically,
that's so cool.
Anytime you were within one plane of her, she would teleport. So the goal ultimately would be to like corral her to the Illyrian space, like circling her and get her there so that you could convince her to stop, because there was no end to the guardians. They would have kept coming.
Yay. That was really cool.
I like that
Very
one.
cool concept.
I did like
love
that.
it.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, but we'll...
Also, not that At was a one-trick pony, but I mean, just hugging people works.
It does.
Hugging people works.
And it was appropriate that Lucky is the one that gave the hug.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need a hug.
Yep.
I could just hear Jace going, "Do you want
Want
a
to
hug?"
hug?
Yeah, like, with the eyebrow raise thing they do. Be great.
So great job of Jaegering. That was
a
exactly
perfect choice.
That word.
It also saved me from the 30 mechanics that I was running, having to worry about the mechanics over there.
Oh,
so
Jesus, yeah.
I very much like I intentionally didn't do the Jace cadence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Like,
fine.
because I didn't want to be disrespectful. I didn't want Jace
It's
to watch it and be like, did you do an impression of me?
Well, you impersonate their character. Lucky doesn't sound
Yeah.
anything like Jace.
But it's
Yeah, Lucky's like, what? okay, I guess I'll help.
Yeah. I also really like a battle where one of you guys are having a physical battle and then Rovick is somewhere else having a completely different type of battle.
Rovick, you know what, Rovick, I respect you though. I respect the decision you made.
Yeah, that was. It's like
You're
you can't
muted.
sign it.
You're still muted somehow.
You're still muted, my man.
Yeah, I just don't trust that he didn't have something planned. And if I have, level 9 spells at my disposal, why wouldn't I use them against him instead of giving them to him?
He's so smart.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. You don't have the ability to cast level 9 spells, so that it doesn't work that way for you. But it will. But when you do,
you could hire someone who did.
Like I don't know, like an Indira or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's a level 18 spellcaster? So.
Yeah. God, I keep forgetting that. I'm like, she could just squash us.
She could, yeah. But Fear was like, Fear saw you all as like an invading force or an army that she was afraid of and was running away. So like she had the fear condition on her and had to move away from you. Yeah.
That's why I hope when she comes back together, she'll be like, oh, thank you. How helpful. You all are great. And I have a positive opinion of you.
Yeah.
Because she could. So
what's the one we have left now? I can't remember.
Confusion.
Is the garden one, yeah. So you have to go back to the garden.
That's going to be
Land of Confusion.
really easy or really hard.
Yeah, and they've taken over Tuthalimus's lair or their maze. So all of the effects of Tuthalimus's like lair actions or like lair whatever have been corrupted by Confusion. And so you guys already interacted with the one that could reverse time, I guess that was, or yeah, so there's other ones.